Cool. Here we are. You ready, Coy?
Ready.
You know why we're here. It's time for Boost, Booze, and Barbecue. Yes, hello and welcome to the only podcast with not only a salvage title, but also two fat guys dancing in the beginning. This is Boost, Booze, and Barbecue. How you doing, Coy?
Doing great.
Coy Forticus St. Masterson, Jr. Esquire, Dr. Honorable Admiral,
That's
Commander-in-Chief.
Soon to be Commander-in-Chief, yeah.
Soon to be.
Once the recount's finished.
You were telling me the other day, the Commodore title doesn't actually mean anything, so you don't go by it.
No, I am working on Duke. I bought 1 square foot of land in Scotland. So once that paperwork's finished.
That's so smart. So smart. But like, what's your path to citizenship once you have that land?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm still dealing with the paperwork
Mhm.
end of it. I'm working out what kind of dwellings I can build on my 1 square foot of land. Thinking about doing a light pole.
What? Okay, so how many square feet do you have to buy before you can be an Archduke? You know?
I think still just 1. You just have to kill other dukes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like a Jedi.
Yeah.
I've clearly never watched the Star Wars movies. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you just have to be able to move shit with your mind to be a Jedi, but
okay, that would imply that they're either not on any antidepressants or they're eating a lot of Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew. It's a chewable tablet that has the same active ingredients in it as Viagra. Go to bluechew.com/boostboostbbq and get 10% off your order. No, it's not. We're not actually sponsored by them, but it'd be fucking awesome if we would.
Wait, is that a real thing?
It is, yeah.
So it's literally boner chewing gum?
Well, I don't think it's a chewing gum. I think it's like a tablet that you chew.
Like if you can't swallow a pill, there's a chewable Viagra.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking Flintstone
gummy.
I
was going to say, they made a Viagra for children.
Yes.
It's basically, okay. Yeah, that's some Epstein shit right there.
In my personal opinion, they should make those pills like bitter or something so that the kids won't eat them.
Well, they should make it really huge.
Mhm.
So it is literally hard to swallow.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So you want a boner, you're gonna choke this thing down.
Well, originally I think they started out with suppositories.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm just saying.
Coy, maybe grow to like it too much, you know.
Grow, quote unquote. So Coy, it's been an eventful week for you, my friend.
It has?
Yeah, you got some trees pulled down off the side of your property.
Oh yeah, a little logging situation going on. I'm doing a little cleanup and making firewood out of the leftovers. I had a birthday. I turned another year older. So 1 year closer to death.
You're 47 now. Congratulations.
47 and a half. Yeah. 35 actually. So yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Got myself an electric chainsaw. I quite like it.
And of course, no birthday parties because we are like squarely in the middle of the pandemic.
Well, we were at the end of the pandemic, and then they were like, "Oh no, it's second and a half, third wave." Well, what wave are we on now? What's that
4 or 5
like chick movie? 7th wave. They should, yeah. I would say 7th wave is about right. So
I think there's a movie called Blue Wave, which would be pandemic plus Blue Chew.
Everyone has a boner.
Yeah.
It's been longer than 4 hours.
Boner NATO.
NATO, the best adverb in the world.
So obviously you didn't have a birthday NATO. Are we going to end up doing something where we, have a belated birthday or no?
I doubt it. I'll just get drunk for no reason, that kind of thing. It's kind of, once your birthday is, you get so old, it's kind of just like whatever. Sure. At this point, I do it more for my children than anything.
Sure.
I just buy whatever I want for myself. My wife complains because I have everything. And I'm like, yeah, because I bought all the shit I wanted. So that's a year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just pick one and consider that the gift.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's a good way of doing it. Once you become an adult and you're making good money and you don't really you're not wanting really for a whole lot. It's not like you're going to run out and get yourself an $80,000 sports car. But if you need a new chainsaw, you go and get the new chainsaw.
That's what I told her. So I just bought a chainsaw. That's my birthday present.
Mm-hmm.
Done and done. Love this chainsaw. It's 36 volt steel. I got the biggest batteries they make. Drop these big batteries in there. Starts every single time.
Mm-hmm.
No warm up period. It's quiet. And believe it or not, I have a 440cc Husqvarna. Definitely has more power.
Really?
For sure has more power.
Wow.
Like noticeable difference.
How long is the bar on it?
16-inch.
Okay.
Same as my Husqvarna, just a little homeowner saw size. I don't do enough chainsawing, and don't get me wrong, if you're a logger, electric chainsaw not for you.
Sure.
If you're a homeowner and you would like to pay 4.5 times more for a chainsaw and get an electric one that works every time, and you don't have to be like, where's the 2-stroke gas? Oh, it won't start now. Oh, and just deal with that crap that I was sick of dealing with. Amazing. Yeah. You want to put it down and then pick it up and not rip your shoulder out of socket by trying to start it again. Yeah. You just pull the trigger.
So are you going to end up throwing this in the back of your truck for snow trips and stuff too?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
We actually talked about that. Well, a couple of episodes, but many episodes ago.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this before, how you've been looking for an electric chainsaw that you could reliably have in the back of your truck for when you're up in the woods.
Yeah. And the batteries charge 35 minutes pop once they cool down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once you get done using it, if you're using it hard, they're warm and there's about 10 minutes for battery to cool down. As soon as it cools down, starts charging, 35 minutes, boom. So.
And you said batteries.
I bought 2. So I have 2 batteries for it.
2 big 36-volt batteries.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I can put one on the charger and use another one.
Because see, I was looking at the Makita ones, but they take 2 of the 18-volt batteries.
Yes. Which I've heard really good things about the Makita ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I got kind of turned on to these because I used a Milwaukee one. That was a friend of mine, and excuse me, very much so liked it. And yeah, I think before I die, there won't be gas chainsaws.
Wow.
I believe that.
That's a bold statement.
I don't think so. I mean, just think about the last 20 years ago. So when you're 15, how good were electric battery powered, drills and things? They're kind of
garbage.
Just coming on. They had the Makita, stick. They were weird out of balance, gangly thing. Took all night to charge a battery and stuff. Batteries lasted like a year. Look where we're at now. My rigid drill has more power than my 110-volt plug-in drill. Like, that's ridiculous. Charges up in just minutes. So I don't think it's a bold statement to say that electric chainsaws are the future. We're going to see gas ones fade out soon.
Okay. All right. I still think that's a bold statement, but I'm not disagreeing. I'm thinking back to when we'd work on house projects and my dad always bought the contractor packs. He'd spend like $600 on these DeWalt drills. It'd come with 4 batteries. But you're right. By the end of like a year of having them, we had to have all the batteries charged up to do a project because it would just, okay, I've got 5 screws in, battery going dead. Let's slap another one in,
Yeah. Yeah. They're like Glock mags.
Yeah.
Throw me a battery.
Yeah.
There are children everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's pretty killer though. That's pretty killer. I'm going to have to check it out the next time I'm over.
So like I said, I mean, I bought the biggest electric one they had. So it's $400, and then you got to buy the batteries, and they're, $200 each. So you can buy a pretty good steel homeowner saw for like $219, $240. You can buy a steel like professional 16-inch saw for probably $400. So it costs way more than everything else, but for the amount I use it, and I get so angry when a tool doesn't work. When I start up a saw and then it'll only you give it gas and it dies at half throttle. So you've been trying to cut something at half throttle or it won't start or it floods. It's just like, I'm just throwing this in the garbage. Tools that I have to work on my tools are just worthless to me. Maybe I'm getting too much money as I get older, but crappy tools make me violently angry. And I seriously mean violently angry. There's nothing that makes me angrier.
It's your privilege showing.
Maybe, but I mean, just tools that don't work as intended make me so fucking mad.
Yeah, it's a very first world privilege of you.
Maybe. Okay. I believe that tools should work as designed and advertised, not me having to work on them and use them in some alterated way.
I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of politicians recently just say, be happy with what you have and suck on it. And I think that's what you should have done instead of going for the more opulent option that works every time.
Yeah.
You know what you should do? You should take that saw and give it to someone less fortunate than you.
Well, actually, I tried to give it to my father-in-law, and then he fixed it and brought it back. So now I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my old saw.
Well, you know what? Feel free to pass it my way. My $80 Ryobi, the clutch went out, so I got to replace that now.
There's a clutch in it?
Yeah, you know the little well, it's not really a clutch, it's more of a emergency brake.
Oh yeah.
And you pull the lever back and it releases the brake. Something happened where I pulled the lever back, but it didn't disengage all the way.
Oh.
And then it just burned up the shoes, and then the shoes welded themselves to a little drum inside. Yeah, so now that whole assembly has to go bye-bye.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it's a Ryobi, so you can just get another. Actually, don't those have a lifetime warranty?
They might. I probably should just take it back to Home Depot.
I'm pretty sure Ryobi has a lifetime warranty, and you can just go swap that out.
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah.
Listen, yours works every single time. I understand that. But, in comparison...
You could get a new one every single time. I've been there. Like, I've done that with tools before. It's like, fuck it, I'll get another one. It's lifetime warranty.
That's why Craftsman stopped doing it, right?
I did that with my CV axles. I bought the lifetime warranty ones, and I come in like, yeah, these boots tore again. The dude's like, yeah, I can tell it's because you're running way too high angle. You must have lifted your rig. I'm like, lifetime warranty, and he's like, manufacturer's defects, and I'm like, it's been 3 months. My OEM ones lasted 70,000 miles with a lift. He's like, I'll do it this one time. I'm like, you're gonna do it every time, buddy. My OEM ones lasted 70,000. These lasted 4,000. There's something wrong with them.
Exactly.
And he just kept on being like, well, this one time. And I'm like, there's something wrong with them. So every time, like, we went round and round, and he finally gave me more, and I left.
It's not going to be this one time. No.
Look at me. You better memorize my face now, because I'll be back.
Here, let's help forget what that face looks like with a little bit of beer, shall we?
Let's do it. Beer of the week.
Mystery beer of the week. And this one is a little bit of an oddball because some of these boxes actually have 2 cans in them. And we know that because it has 2 date stickers on it. So Coy is going to pop this box open, and we're going to see what the first one is.
So are these like paired together?
I don't think so.
Wow, cool looking bottle. This is the Overdub IPA Tape Op. Let me see if I can find some collaboration between Fort George and Tap Op, the creative music recording magazine. Free tape or sampler.
I don't have high hopes for this.
Yeah, there's real no information on this thing.
It's
a session Indian Pale Ale, 4.5% alcohol. Yeah, it's an IPA.
I'm just saying right now, like, this sounds way too hipstery. Hold on. Whoa. Put that back in the box. We're not
going to do them both at the same time.
Not at the same time.
Okay.
All right. This super duper hipster ridiculousness. And listen, I'm not trying to shit on the folks that made this. Well, hipsters, yes. But the folks that made this. Fort George, they have some good stuff out there. I do not have high hopes for this. It's quite clear. It's not completely clear. It's a little bit hazy. But it's got kind of a golden color to it, huh?
Yeah, it definitely has like a juicy Indian Pale going thing. Like I can definitely smell a lot of fruit.
Yeah, it smells fruity. It smells hoppy. It smells very floral.
It is extremely hoppy. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's pure. I feel like I just bit into a hop. You ever see like a child take a spoonful of flour and like bite it?
Yes.
That's how I felt like I just did with hops.
Or a child take a spoonful of like Dutch processed cocoa.
Or vanilla. Or just like
vanilla.
take its hit off the bottle of vanilla. That's what I felt like. but I just did it with pure hops. This is god awful.
I don't like this, Coy.
I don't like it. You really called it. Like, this is the most hipster thing I've ever had. It's not even that bitter. It's just 1000% hop. How do you collaborate to get this? They're like, it's not hoppy enough. I didn't choke when I drank it.
Jake Jane is here. Jake, we got to get you down for another podcast because, I mean, not to sound like an asshole, but I would ask you to finish this for me because I don't like it.
It's so bad.
Terrible.
I can't stop drinking it.
You got to stop. You got to stop drinking it.
Have you ever like hit the coffee dispenser in like an office building and the coffee was just so black and so putrid and horrible, and you just like sip it and there's no creamer. And you're just like, wow, this is the worst coffee I've ever had. And then you take another drink and you're like, yep, it is definitely. And like you find yourself so fascinated by how horrible the coffee is, you realize you can't stop drinking it. Like you can't get enough of the worst coffee you've ever had.
That literally was my old job. Literally.
Yeah.
So we were right across the street from a coffee roaster, and I'm trying to remember what coffee roaster it was. It doesn't matter either way. So they made what apparently was a special blend for our office. And I'm told that there was like a showdown. There were 10 different blends of coffee. And then they had a showdown, here's the top 5, here's the top 2. And then there was a clear winner. And it literally was the worst coffee I'd ever had. Worst coffee, hands down, I've ever had. And I used to talk to the gal at the front desk about it because she'd been there for 1,000 years. And she was just like, yeah, I don't know. This is why you shouldn't let engineers run taste competitions. Because it literally was the worst coffee I have ever had.
Wow.
Are we finishing these?
I don't have another glass, so I kind of have to.
Yeah, we can yell at somebody.
I'm just going to bottom up this. Like, let's just do it.
Same. Cheers.
I'm pretending that I'm like 16 and I'm at the park and a cop caught me. And he's like,
blech.
Drink it or dump it.
Blah, blah, blah. This is making everything, all of the issues I was having before we started recording.
Yeah.
I got kind of a stuffy nose for some reason. This is literally making it worse. I don't know why or how, but it is.
Like, I'm disgusted with myself. Like, I feel like I just had sex with a stranger.
I would rinse that glass out if I were you.
I don't know if I can rinse it and then drink this. All right, Andy. I think we're gonna have a comeback here with Aloha Death.
Oh yeah. Coy, I'm telling you, here's some water. You have to swirl that around. You have to clear your palate. Ugh. This is atrocious.
I'm so disgusted by that beer. Aloha Death is a dark, smooth ale brewed with coconut and inspired by Irish death. This brew's malt-forward profile brings the tropics to you with hints of coconut and chocolate. Please enjoy our take on that sweet Aloha spirit.
Okay, so what is it exactly?
Yeah, I don't know. It's ale brewed with coconut. Alcohol is 6.5%, and yeah, we're going.
All right, it's dark and rich. Let's hit it. Good color. Nice copper tone head to it as well.
I'm gonna let you pour yours. Can't quite reach there. Decent head. This is really dark, actually. Yeah, very dark.
It's pretty much the color of a porter.
Did make a comeback.
Yeah.
We're back in. This is, wow, that is really good. I usually don't care for the chocolate. Just a hint of chocolate on the end there, but wow, really coconut. Coconut forward.
It smells incredible. This honestly reminds me of the Torani coffee flavors. This reminds me of, I forget what the flavor
Almond
was.
Joy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. As soon as you said it, I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly what this smells like.
Yeah, this is quite good. It does kind of have an Almond Joy thing going on if now that you say that.
Ooh, that's a good beer.
Why couldn't they just put 2 of those in there? Like, we could have just cracked them and cheers, and here we go.
Well, we don't have a choice on this box.
I know we don't have a choice on any of it, but I'm just saying somebody knew what both these tasted like. You know.
Listen, full disclosure for everybody that's listening or watching out there, we're gonna have some garbage beers come through here.
Well, I mean, statistically, it has to happen.
I mean, we've had a few, even Coy and Andy picking ones out for us, specifically for us.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few misses in there. These ones where it comes from a brew shop where they're, listen, I love Joel. He's a great guy. Corval's Brewing Supply, go and check them out. But, you know, he's putting together boxes for eclectic palates. And let me just say, Oregon is all about this overdub IPA and less about the Aloha Death most of the time.
Yeah, no, I totally agree that on the shelf, I will probably never find Aloha Death anywhere. An IPA that either that one or one that tastes equally as bad, easily found in Oregon.
This IPA, this is like every other IPA. It tastes no different from any other IPA I've ever had.
That may be hoppier.
Maybe, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, really, when you're drowning in hops, what more or less, makes no difference.
Yeah. And that's the problem with IPAs, especially IPAs in Oregon right now, is you get these beers that just don't taste like anything. They're a little bit bready. They're crazy hoppy, just bitter as fuck. Like, and that's it. That's all of it. It tastes like you're drinking a flower.
It's not a flower. Drinking a flower would be better. I don't know. I don't understand why we need this much hop.
Well, we don't. People are just retarded.
It's some kind of retard standoff. Like, I can drink more hops than you. I don't know.
Well, you have a theory, right? You talk a little bit about how you think it's a not exactly a mating ritual, but
yeah, I mean, more or less when the other males to signal when they're in heat, they go drink IPAs.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it's like a mating dance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Who can drink the more hoppy IPA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely the stronger their genes are.
I'm starting to wonder if IPA reduces testosterone.
I wouldn't be surprised. I imagine all beer does.
You think so? What do you keep looking up here for?
I was seeing what the next comment was, but I can't read the.
Chef Kevin is on. Sup, guys? Jake is saying he looks like a hipster, so he might as well go full tilt. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, he did change his look. I don't know if you saw that. He went full hipster.
Yeah,
I went ahead and commented on that.
It was funny to me because I could see where the mask line was in his beard. Yeah. It's the same thing we all struggle with. Maybe not you so much.
No, I do hardcore struggle with that.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, if you look closely, you can probably see the wave it's put into my beard.
Sure.
See the wave there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where the line is that I have to try and push out.
I actually had to cut my beard shorter so that the mask would like fold under, but it's still bad.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake, he went with a beautiful beard, but did a full hipster mustache. And he's trying to hide his bald fucking head with a beret. Do it like a man and just use a stocking cap like me. I told him it looked like he sucked a dick for bus fare and then walked.
Mm-hmm.
Great line that I really like to use.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, the hat. I'll never understand the whatever it's called.
There's two times when you can wear a beret.
Oh.
Either you have to be in the military and be a Green Beret, or one of the branches where they wear the fucking beret. I won't talk shit then. Or you have to be driving a convertible. Those are the two times I'll allow it.
Okay.
I will not make fun of you under those two conditions. Outside of those, I'm making fun of you.
I think you had one of those hats for a little while when you had your S2000.
Yeah, I would put that on, and I had a giant white scarf that I wrapped around that was like 10 feet long and drive with just like blasting behind me.
Yes.
And just be like, do you have any Grey Poupon? Even if you're like painting, doing portraits, and you're wearing one of those, I'm still going to slap you on the back of the head, tell you to knock it off.
Sure. All right. That's fair enough. Hey, should we move on to a little automotive talk here?
I would love to.
So I don't know how you're going to feel about this, Coy. I, for one, am quite impressed and interested. The new N line. I shouldn't say inline because there's actually a difference with Hyundais between the inline, literally the letter in line. Mm-hmm. Those are more aesthetically sporty. And then there's the in group of cars. Is this making sense? Am I explaining this right?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
The in group of cars designation, those are very fast. They have got some serious balls, and I'm pretty surprised by them.
I am too. They're still Hyundais, so I'm reserving feelings. I want to check back, at the 75,000 mile mark, see where we're at. But I'm tentatively quite hopeful for the N series. I don't understand why we use the letter N. I know we have Type R and we have Nismo, we got TRD stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff. For Hyundai, just use N. I feel like, could you get more bland as a designator?
I agree with that. I do. I don't know. They were trying to go for some, Type R has been played out. Type S is for sport. Type R is for race. There's RS. There's SS. Like, where do you go? Where do you land? Even Toyota, the new stuff, like the new, help me out here. The new Toyota, the rally spec one, the Yaris GR.
Oh yes.
GR stands for Gazoo Racing. GAZOO Racing. That's Toyota's new, TRD is off-road.
Yeah.
Gazoo is their road going stuff. Also found out that their new Yaris GR, we're not getting that in the United States. Yeah. What? They gave a big middle finger.
I thought that was fucking for sure coming here.
Nope.
I don't even, seriously?
Yeah. Car and Driver released an article here just a couple weeks ago saying, nah, bitches, you ain't getting that.
Dude, I thought there was pre-orders going on for those.
Apparently there's going to be a Corolla that has some similar setup to those cars, but no.
Okay, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Like again? Come on, Toy. Like,
no, you're screwed again.
Well, why do we have to? We're fucking Americans. Like, can I say this? Fuck you, California. For this time, this really is California's fault.
It is.
It's all your fucking fault, Carb. California Air Regulation Bureau or whatever the fuck it stands for.
It's like the song goes, California knows how to fuck
up
you.
Everybody's good time in the city that you live in that doesn't have any fucking emissions that we have to put on you anyways, even though you live in the middle of fucking nowhere. Yeah, it's so frustrating.
It is.
Like, there's no reason that we can't be freer than Australia.
I know.
You know what I mean? We should have all the cool shit that Australia has. But since they're not technically allowed to soup them up and still make them street legal, and we can do whatever the fuck we want. It's America. It's like, woo. Let's just go ahead and be free here and do it that way. Or at least Toyota do this. Leave a crappy engine in it so it passes your emissions, but send us one with the GR all-wheel drive system so that we can turbocharge it on our own.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing.
And I don't know if you've heard about the engine specs. I'm sorry I don't have something up here prepared for you guys, but it is a 1.6 liter 3-cylinder that produces 270 horsepower.
In the GR or in...
No, in the GR.
That sounds horrible but fun. Like, I'm guessing the torque figures on that are somewhere, like, it's how you measure pencils. I guess it's 2.
I'm not sure, but I did read that it is quite laggy, and so on the street, it's not the greatest thing to drive around. According to Car and Driver, which we all know that you and I would enjoy the absolute living fuck out of that.
I'm just saying, there's nothing an anti-lag tune can't solve.
Bingo, exactly.
I know that people might say that anti-lag isn't street friendly, and years ago, people were like, "Oh, it's so hard on your turbos." Well, it's 2020, bitches.
Yeah.
We have ceramic coated turbos and stuff now. Like, it's not that bad for
yes.
them. Well, I mean, it's still super bad for them, but 4 or 5 years, so what?
There's a lot of ceramic coating that can get blown off of them before we start damaging the steel.
Yeah.
So we're fine.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Taco to Flavor Kisses says, can we just start making cars that cannot be owned and operated in the state of California. Yes, exactly.
Here's my thing. Why don't we just start like every brand just make like 3 cars for California? Just like, look, you get the basic Corolla, you get this one Lexus and this, like, so that when you live in California, you'll bitch because you'll be like, well, there's only 7 cars I can pick from.
Right.
A Tesla and then 4 others. Prius and a Ford F-150 EcoBoost. And then we just move on. And the rest of the country can enjoy our fast fucking cars.
Yeah. That's the way it should operate. We shouldn't have this chokehold being brought here by California. But anyways, we're getting way off track. Let's go back to the 2022 Hyundai Elantra N. This is still a prototype, but fortunately, Car and Driver were able to mess around with it, see what this thing had, and they were very impressed with it. So in 2019, the Veloster N came out. It's still front-wheel drive, 270 horsepower. Not particularly refined, though. That was the complaint. They were trying to make something that would compete with the Civic SI.
Yeah.
What does the SI make? It's the turbo 2-liter, isn't it? 300 horse?
Yeah, it's right there. It's pushing 300.
Yeah, so it's obviously faster than the Veloster N, but it was also better refined. The inside was better. The seats were more comfortable. It rode a little better. The things that you would expect from a Honda versus a Hyundai, right?
And to be fair to Hyundai, Honda, I think, did a lot of extra fine-tuning engineering. I think a lot so that they could get their ultra lap times, at the ring. And I mean, Honda really brought it all together with that car. I know it's a Civic. I know it's an SI or Type R. And it's a cliche, but since Honda knew it was a cliche, they really did. I mean, that is an incredible car.
Taco Flavored Kisses says that the SI is actually 1.5 now.
Okay. But they really put it together on that car, and it's going to be hard to match that in a lot. I mean, just right off the bat, and be cheaper than it, So I know Hyundai kind of didn't quite hit their mark, but I don't think that should be such a derogatory thing that it's not as refined. Like Honda really did a good job there, and that's hard to match.
And when you start comparing the prices, we're looking at a vehicle. The Veloster N is $8,000 cheaper, I think. I mean, it's quite a bit cheaper. So there is kind of that performance versus budget kind of a thing going on. But what Car and Driver is alluding is that we don't have to worry about that difference anymore with the Hyundai N. They're saying that this Hyundai N is really, really putting the screws to the Honda Civic Si and might even be able to match the performance. It's still doing the same approximate horsepower with the 276 horse and I believe 280 foot-pounds torque at the tire. That's pretty serious numbers. That's like Gen 2 Mazda Speed 3.
I'd still like to see the actual dyno graph here and see where those numbers, what RPM those numbers really are.
Sure.
Which, as the older I get, the more I want to see the dyno sheet I found. I know this sounds weird coming through from an S2000 guy, but I'm not super interested in peak horsepower as I used to be.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, I will take usable power band.
What about the 6-speed manual transmission?
Big fan of that.
Yeah. Limited slip differential.
Also big fan of that.
Okay. Now, these will have an optional 8-speed dual clutch gearbox. I don't know if those are being developed in-house. I don't know how reliable they are. We won't know until we get there.
Look, I know we're going the way where pretty soon when you say I have a manual, it's because you have a dual clutch. I'm still not into them. I get it. The new Skyline has one, or the new GTR or whatever. I'm not into dual clutch stuff. Just give me an old manual transmission. I will much more enjoy that, even if it's slower on the track, which I don't believe it will be. But
sure, in the right hands, I don't see how it could be, really, right?
Yeah.
So we do have a little video here. Hopefully we don't get flagged down for the music. Let's jump ahead a little bit. I wanted you to hear the engine noises. So I know it's really hard to pick through all of that, but we did get to hear the acceleration. We got to hear the rap of like shifting gears.
Mm-hmm.
That is their rev match system.
Yep.
And then we do get to hear the blow off valve go. And if those are not inserted noises, then this thing could make some very fun whiz bangs and pops.
So I'm impressed. That had a deep growl. I was expecting a Honda-esque noise, that higher pitch.
Mm-hmm.
That was very beefy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was gnarly. Had a gnarly note to it.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like an SRT4 meets a Mazda Speed 3.
Yeah, very SRT4. That deeper engine note. And I dug it.
Apparently, these are going to come with a 3-way adjustable exhaust. So there's cruising around, sounding pretty normal. There's going to be super fucking loud and annoying, and then there's just going to be an open, which is going to be like just pure drone all the time, or at least that's what Car and Driver's saying. I have a feeling I'm going to be running it wide open all the time if I get one.
So there's like a switch inside, and you just decide what level of asshole you want to be.
yeah, exactly.
I love that idea. I wish more cars would do that. I really only want two. I want quiet, like I'm on it's date night, and I want fuck everyone. Like I want date night and fuck everyone.
So Chef Kevin says Coy is old fashioned. Ride a horse or something.
Is he talking about transmissions?
Yes.
So obviously you're automatic transmission fucking scum. That's fine. It sounds like you don't know how to drive a manual.
Taco flavored kisses says sounds like Chewbacca's kid taking a shit in a tin can.
Nice.
We'll take it. That's fine.
I'm down with that. That's a compliment.
Brunstead TV is here with his fat wang emoji. So thank you for that. We appreciate that. Braun is my dad. Thank you, my friend. Fattest of wangs is what these guys have on them.
Nice. Congratulations.
But listen, not everything that we're talking about here is strictly like fossil fuel, old school. Let's give Chef Kevin a little something that his California loving ass is gonna like.
Oh yeah, he's gonna love this.
Something electric, shall we?
Let's just say, yeah, go ahead and intro us into this.
Overland is fucked! This is the future of off-road electric power sports. Coy.
Look, you're off-road. You want to be a gnarly badass out there, treading not lightly.
Right.
Fucking up federal land.
Fuck everyone.
Yeah, fuck Trump. I'm going to go do a burnout on BLM. Not that BLM.
Bureau of Land Management.
Yeah, the other the original BLM.
Please don't ban us, Twitch.
But I still care about the environment, even though I'm going to run over endangered flowers.
Sure, maybe knock down a tree or two.
Yeah.
You remember doing that in our go-karts, seeing how big a tree we could smash with them?
We used to do this thing called shotgun logging, where you'd just be up shooting clays and just like scream shotgun logging, turn and blast a tree and see, small trees. And if you could get one down in one shot, that was sweet. We're talking like 6-footers. But you just scream shotgun logging a couple times as the day went on and blast the same tree, and eventually it would fall over. There's nothing more satisfying than shooting a tree and then it falling over.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's something very Clint Eastwood about that.
And let me tell you something right now. The tradition of running trees over with your off-road vehicle, it is not dead. Every off-road video I see, maybe not the gambler ones, but like anybody that's doing a project go-kart, all they do is like, oh, let's see how many little trees we can knock over.
And then, to be fair, most of those little trees are fine eventually. Like they're, they get turned into Lowe's boards. They're crooked and twisty, but still.
It's true. So Braun has to get going. So thank you, my friend. Chef Kevin says Segway has an electric dirt bike now. What?
Well, this is a electric. The only way I can explain it, I used to have a thing called a Yamaha Big Wheel. Some of you may remember them as Honda Fat Cats. Back in the day, they made dirt bikes that used 3-wheeler tires. This is very similar to that, smaller, A little bit bigger than like the 5 horsepower mini bikes.
And looks like it has some suspension. And I'm pretty sure your big wheel did not.
No, it had suspension.
Oh, it did?
Oh, yeah. And it's electric, has 75 plus miles of range, has removable battery packs, so you don't have to just charge.
The Grunt from Vulcan is designed to be the ultimate two-wheel off-road electric vehicle with a range of over 75 miles and a waterproof drivetrain.
So first off, no, it doesn't go 75 miles. Come on.
Downhill. Like you start on a 75 mile an hour, like a glide plane from the top of the Sierra Nevadas and just downhill. Yeah.
I think we can reasonably say it probably has around a 40 to 50 mile range.
35.
Yes? 35, you think?
35 with me on it.
Okay.
They got this with a toddler. Literally, like I said, like a hang glide. Like they got out their Garmin and they found a road that just went downhill.
Right. Wearing a squirrel suit.
4% grade for 75 miles.
Yeah.
And they said 75 plus because he coasted another mile. But even though it was dead.
Taco Flavored Kisses says, what a hipster way to say Yamaha. Your Yamaha.
People used to tell me that I was like a hillbilly. But to be fair, I say like raccoons as well.
Smiles off-road hauling Coy. 5 miles, excuse me. Off-road hauling Coy. Ooh. Well, listen, depending on what kind of battery it has in it.
Yeah, first of all, fuck you.
Grunt is versatile enough to take on any trail.
On the video here, I mean,
hot swappable batteries give the Grunt unparalleled range and stump pulling torque. The adjustable suspension can be dialed in for any type of terrain or work. Vulcan has designed the Grunt to be accessible to riders of any skill level. With no clutch, gearbox, or intimidating height, its most
intimidating height.
That's saying it's a mini bike.
With no intimidating clutch, no intimidating height, and no intimidating penis.
It's just a little bigger than a mini bike. It's small. But I mean, you want to stuff this thing in the back of your truck with all the camping gear. I want to know how much the battery weighs. So like, can I throw one in a backpack or strap it on the back seat and take an extra battery with me? Because I can only make it 5 miles, you fucking dick.
You can, but it'll only make it 2.5 now.
Fair enough.
Seat, nimble handling, and progressive power delivery make it easy to dominate any trail. The power of silence.
Cool, Bernie.
It's the future of off-road power sports. And the future is undeniably electric. From enthusiasts to the most demanding riders, electric power sports vehicles offer a superior user experience at every step.
I mean, I have to admit, the video makes it
with less moving parts, more torque with minimal maintenance, more fun with near silent operation. Vulcan's mission is simple: build the highest quality electric vehicles to enhance the outdoor experience. The vehicles we design are versatile, able to take on work in the most demanding environments.
All right, now we're just starting to embellish a little bit. But you know what? I can dig it.
Here's what I want happen. So we have the Gambler mini bike 500 bullshit. One of the guys I work with is they win every year. They're amazing at this. I'm gonna bring this to him and be like, hey, maybe you should write these guys and just say, give us 2 of these bikes and 7 batteries. And I mean, they have to do pit stops anyways. Hot swap batteries. Be the first gamblers to win off an electric bike.
And since the Gambler has gone so hipster, we're doing it on an electric bike.
Yeah. I think this thing's cooler and I'll get out. And I would love to have one to strap to the back of my camper. And when I'm going out camping, I can have my 5 miles of fun.
Yeah.
And have a couple batteries, Hit it. I think it'd be a great time.
So a couple things I need to know. Price, 1, obviously. The weight is 2.
They do say the weight somewhere in here of the actual bike, I swore. And it wasn't very heavy.
Well, let's go to the actual.
And I actually never did see the price. You had to like get on the pre-order page to see the price. So I assumed it was like $7,000, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, it has to be.
I'm sure it's super expensive.
Yeah. Let's see here. Intimidating height with those high water pants. Yeah, that's true. Chef Kevin, sealed drivetrain so Coy's scarf won't get caught in it. Smart.
Oh yeah.
The Segway is cooler. Go and check it out. We will. That'll be a future episode. But who wants to own an actual Segway from Taco Flavored Kisses? It's true. It's true. Saying that you have a Segway, like, go ahead and just give that a try, Coy. Just tell me that you own a Segway.
Oh, I have a Segway.
Yeah.
It's off-road Segway though.
Interesting. So here's your pills. I need you to take these 3 times a day.
Okay.
That blue one, be careful with that one.
Do I take this with a IPA or just water?
No more IPAs for you. No more IPAs. Yeah, you know what? I'm not actually seeing a website specifically for them. They're strictly pre-order right now. And I think that bike that they're using is the only one they have.
Oh, I believe it.
Weight under 200 pounds.
That's not ridiculous.
Top speed 60 miles an hour. Acceleration 0 to 66 seconds.
0 to 66 seconds.
Mm-hmm. With a top speed of 60.
I'm sorry. It will go 0 to 60 in 6 seconds.
Up to its top speed of 60 miles an hour, yes.
That's pretty incredible for a little electric bike.
I'm going to say double that. Because I'm just not, something's not adding up here.
Yeah, I mean that's fucking crazy fast.
Also, it's available for $6,000.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I said 7, so
yeah, you were close.
I knew it would be expensive.
And the battery, you're right there.
Yeah. There's definitely, you throw in a fast charger and a couple options. The carrot, the rack to haul some shit.
You're a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that little. It wasn't a half hay bale. It wasn't even a quarter hay bale. It was like 1/5 of a hay bale, and they were like, "Work tough."
Yeah. This is not a John Deere Gator.
No.
This is what rich people get for their property in Colorado, where they usually go in the wintertime for skiing trips. That one time they go in the summer, they have 5 of these that their dad buys.
Yes.
Yeah. And they think they're going to have that weird bonding moment where they're riding around. Instead, someone breaks their arm and then they don't ride them again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, it's cool. It's cool, but I'm not just completely sold on it. It's interesting, but
it's overland as fuck.
Oh, wow. You know what? You're right. Overland as fuck. And I'll tell you what, there is nothing more overland as fuck than an IPA.
Oh, yeah. That is what overlanding revolves around, is IPA.
It's quintessential.
Yeah. Essential and quintessential.
I remember you told me one time, if you don't like pot and microbrew, then you can't go to an overland event.
That's pretty much how it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
But you can't really grow pot in Christmas Valley, can you?
Because
even though it's hot in the summer, but then it's cold and it snows in the winter, right?
Yeah, but they are like the alfalfa capital of the world.
Okay. Interesting. So we could be opening a little side business down there.
I mean, you could, if you want to live literally in the middle of nowhere.
And worry about your crops being taken all the time.
I mean, Christmas Valley was literally a scam town. Like, there's a whole history to it if you want to look it up, but it was designed and built as a fucking ripoff for investors, and it's just still there is all that happened.
Really?
Like, people stayed, basically, is what happened.
That's actually kind of fascinating.
There was a guy, I know this is in the 20s or 40s, I'm not sure when, years ago, and he would go around and do this. He was a real estate guy, and he'd done this like 3 times, and he went to Christmas Valley, bought this desert, and there was like a town there, but it was like 2 houses, and a couple farms. Just bought all the surrounding land for like pennies on the acre. Nothing. Built a golf course and an airstrip, a store and a restaurant, and just kind of did like a little city water system and stuff, just kind of basic town stuff. Put a bunch of ads in papers and whatnot, and had an artist rendition of what it would look like, once it was all done.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And it was super cheap. He sold all the land super cheap because he bought it for literally pennies on the acre, made a bunch of like 1 acre lots, sold thousands of lots, and then bailed and didn't finish doing any of the building of the town. And then people just went, like, back then you'd buy it sight unseen. You just have to kind of believe what the real estate broker told you. They would like go there, looked around, realized there was like a small gas station, a store, one restaurant, a golf course, and a landing strip. Or it's like, this is fucking middle of the desert, and just turn around and left. So yeah, and he made a fuckload of money.
That's similar to what the Clintons did.
Which time?
With the whole Whitewater thing.
Oh,
yeah. Anyways, we won't get into that because it is time for Smoking Deal or Smoking a Doobie. Smoking Deal or Smoking a Doobie. And this week's Smoking Deal or Smoking a Doobie is quite the interesting one. I'm going to say, honestly, this could go either way. This is why we're going to talk this through, Coy. So let me tell you what we have going on here. 1968 GMC Carpenter. It is a GMC converted bus. It has been converted to four-wheel drive. It has a mid-90s 454 with a 4L80E auto trans in it. It has power steering. It has 49-inch tall tires.
Monsters. Like, this is what they pick you up to go to school in like Yellowstone National Park.
Yes. Or Vail, Colorado. Yeah. Sleep 6. Fridge is propane and 110 house current. It has 4 6-volt batteries, an inverter, 2 air conditioners, a propane heater, and a propane water heater. Let's get into some of these photos for those of you that are viewing along with us. That is pretty significant, Coy. Obviously, it is highly modified. They call it the Franken bus.
So obviously, they don't believe in upward suspension travel, as you can tell by the front fenders.
Yeah,
having 2 inches of clearance. Look, I got not a lot bad to say about this. I need a lot more information. I want to know what kind of axles this is running. I'm assuming these are military axles, which I'm fine with. These got to be military tires. I mean, they're 49s. And let's do the price on this. Where are we at?
It is currently listed for $10,500.
It runs and drives, and it's 10 grand. It's converted. Like, it's not super awesome inside, but I mean, it looks like they found some old RVs and kind of stripped some of the seats and countertops out of it, and it's done well enough. I've seen nicer, but this is perfect. If I own this, I wouldn't mess with the interior. It's acceptable. And
it's clearly been lived in. I mean, there's children's toys laying around. There's bedding. There's still stuff in all the cabinets. As a matter of fact, it's kind of dirty and unkempt.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly been lived in. It may still be lived in. I don't know. The one thing that they don't really say much about, it does not say how many miles are on this 454 in transmission.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. We do have some comments coming in. Holy shit. Don't care how much. So Chef Kevin's on board. So badass. Taco flavored kisses. I've got such a heart on right now. So yeah, I mean, people in the comments, Kevin says the suspension is in the tires. Coy.
He does have a little bit of a point there, but I'm assuming there still needs to be some up travel.
You're assuming that there is up travel to be had.
Well, hopefully he didn't just weld this axle to the frame. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
This has been converted. I'm going to want to see what the conversion looks like and how it's done. It's got to be military axles. They're military tires. It's got to be military axles, which are going to be strong enough for those 49s.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the person selling this is probably not the person that built it.
Yeah, I don't know. Because in one of the pictures, you see this bus without the conversion done.
Yeah, that was right here.
Yeah. So in that picture, it also has a really nice awning on the side. So that's pretty cool. It's got the TV antenna up top. Like, somebody had an old RV and they just took all that stuff, put it in this bus. I don't mind that this bus is an ancient, what they say, 1969.
Yeah,
$68,000, 1968. Think about this. You're a young couple and you're saving up for a Sprinter van so you can do your bullshit Sprinter van stuff. Those are like 50 grand plus a conversion, you know, if you're converting it yourself. You could get this for 10. And look, don't get me wrong. This 454 with these tires gets 8 miles a gallon on a good day.
At 45 miles an hour.
Yes. Yeah. On the other hand, $40,000 will buy a metric shit ton of fuel. We could figure it out, but it's a lot. So I don't know how many years you plan on touring, and every, you know, hipster and their hippie girlfriend have a Sprinter bus. Not all of them roll up in this roving 4-wheel drive pop mobile. I'm just saying, you could paint this thing green. You could have a couple plants growing all the time in the back. You know what I'm saying? There's extra room. It's a moving conversation piece. I think this is really cool, and this can be worked on probably anywhere. I mean, any basic, it's a 454. You can get parts at Napa. Yeah,
I agree with that. I want to see more photos of the bathroom. There's one photo of the bathroom that shows a dirty sink and a bunch of shit laying around.
Dude, I'm telling you, they found some old broken down camper with a blown motor and just gutted it and took all the cabinets and all the parts and put it in this. The sink and everything in this are modern looking stuff. So I have no doubt that the bathroom is just the toilet out of whatever, you know, 1993 Winnebago that they found and just put it in here. So I'm not too worried about that.
I agree with you. Taco Flavored Kisses says, who cares about the miles? 454s are a dime a dozen. Needs an LS swap.
What doesn't?
Well, yeah. I mean, anything is on the table at this point. Hell, this could use a diesel swap, a 6BT.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would just do whatever's cheapest to keep this thing running. Like the amount of money you're saving in vehicle, you're just throwing at fuel. I don't know how far you plan on going and how much traveling you want to do. If this thing's freaking awesome and it's big enough, you might be able to find another hippie couple to roll with you for 6 months.
Sure, you guys can just swap around.
Yeah, you can do your weird orgy shit and all that, and do all your fucking OnlyFans and cover that gas money.
Dude, it sleeps 6. Okay. What if you start picking up like heroin addicted transients? It could sleep 8, 10. You could start your cult. You could start your sex cult out of this.
Always wanted my own cult.
That's what I'm saying. Huh?
Yeah. First, start some of that Rashi stuff.
First it's based on drugs, and then it's based on religion. But drugs still stay in there somewhere. You know, that's how you keep the control.
My problem is they always end in underage sex. So I'd like to get out before that part.
Well, sure, but I mean that's one of the side effects of heroin. You have these kids that have been on the street for 6 months. They look 45.
Well, I'm just saying the problem with cults, and it's any good business, you know, it starts out where you want. You got to know when to get out. When the investors come and they want to buy it and kick you out, just take that. So when your second in command is like, look, man, you're getting old. It's time for me to be the new savior. Just go ahead and cash out and leave.
Yeah. When the CIA rolls in and goes, hey, you're doing good work here. We're going to put you on the payroll and we want you to help us out. You just say to your second command, hey, here's what's happening. And then you take that money and you run. Yeah.
I will be in a non-extradition country. Goodbye.
I'll be in Belize. I'll see you.
You got to bail before the weird minor stuff comes in.
It's like my grandfather always used to say, being the leader of a cult, you make more money, but being a member of the cult, you have more fun. So, you know, you got to weigh it out.
Okay.
Pros and cons.
Okay.
So we're landing pretty much on a deal with this one, huh?
How can it not be? I mean, it runs and drives. It's on 49s. Worst case scenario, you gambler this. You know what I mean? You're not a crazy hippie. You want to go to all the gamblers. You roll up in this and you pop out the awning. You put up a fireplace and you have a crazy whiskey tasting party right in front of the Franken bus.
Oh, the component we've left out, Coy. Clout.
Oh, yeah. This has got big dick energy for sure. Or maybe it's tiny dick energy. I'm not sure.
It's big balls, small penis energy.
And, you know, I would change it from Frankenbus. I would somehow work in like Jerry's Magic School Bus, you know, or some kind of hillbilly name. Ricky's Magic School Bus.
Dude, I would totally get you a suit made to look like Mrs. Frizzle's dress, but it's a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just be like Bobby's Magic Bus, bitch.
All right. Well, it's a deal. Somebody go out there and snag this thing. It's located in Massachusetts, so you're going to have a bit of a drive, but worth it, right?
It's 10 grand. It's worth it.
Yep.
It's got AC.
Driving it home from Massachusetts, you'll find out real quick if there are any problems.
For sure, you'll find the problems before you get home.
Oh,
and you're probably going to have to remedy a few of them.
And no hotel costs, Coy.
No hotel costs.
Park it and sleep.
I would park it at like auto zones and Napas, honestly, because you're going to need to do some work at night.
That's smart. It might not start in the morning.
Yeah.
You
want to be close to parts.
Yeah. Get yourself in the zone.
Smoking deal or smoking Adobe.
Well, there you have it. That is the show. Coy, got a little bit of beard left, so we're gonna cheers up to that, buddy. That's a good beer. This Aloha Death, highly recommend. This one, the Overdub IPA, skip it. It's not worth it.
It's hot trash. That Overdub IPA, that's like a Canadian action TV show.
Yeah,
you can tell it's bad in the first second.
It's not good. It's not good. This is Canada TV. This is Airwolf. Just okay. Maybe that was a bad analogy. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for telling a friend about what we're doing here. We sure appreciate that. Come and follow us at Boost Booze BBQ on pretty much all social media. We're working with the Twitter a little bit now, so please do come by and enjoy that. And I appreciate you, Coy.
Thank you.
So for Coy Forticus and Masterson, everybody else here at Boost Booze and Barbecue, this is Andy Will. See you next time. All right, there it is. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we will see you in the next one.